Welcome to our All Started podcast in North Iowa. My name is Erick Nganyange. My special guest on the show today, the owner of Wayne's Ski, Cycle, and Fitness, Matt Curtis. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It was interesting walking in your store today. From outside looking in, it does not look that big. But once I walk in, I was like, oh, wow. And when I was thinking about what are you doing in there, I was thinking just only cycling part of it. I was not thinking about snowboarding and skiing and all that stuff. Was the Wayne cycling business always had that component of ski and snowboarding, or you added that later?
Yeah, so Wayne's actually started as Tyrrell Ski and Sports back in 1976.
I saw that.
So we're just going on 50 years, but so Tyrrell Ski and Sports was skiing, tennis, golf, but we did not have bikes at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's how it got started.
It was tennis and golf?
Yeah. Very little golf from what I remember. I remember it from the early 80s, when I was a kid just visiting there.
I played golf and I played tennis a little bit. When did that stop?
Well, before my time. I started working there in 92. We were still stringing tennis rackets at that point, but we weren't selling any.
Oh.
So I'm not sure when that stuff officially stopped. That was the previous owner.
Born and raised in Mason City?
I am.
Mason City High then? Graduate? What year?
1990.
Okay. You took over the business. You bought the business in 2004.
Correct.
And you start working there, you said, in 92?
Correct.
In the process of I guess let me go back a little bit.
Yeah, so if we look at where Wayne started as Tyrrell Ski and Sports, that was in 1976. That was owned by a guy named Jerry Schleep. There was a Tyrrell Ski and Sports in Des Moines and one in Mason City and one in Rochester, Minnesota, which there is still one in Rochester right now. Jerry
is it affiliated with you guys?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
Nope, and they are more true to the original Tyrrell Ski and Sports, as far as like outdoors, hiking, canoes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they carry tennis or not. But anyway, so that's where it started from.
Yeah.
And Wayne Blaisdell at the time, he was managing the Des Moines and the Mason City locations, and he ended up buying the Mason City location as Tyrrell for a while. In 1983, he moved from the east side of Mason City out by Hy-Vee East. There used to be a strip mall out there. So that's where the Tyrrell Ski and Sports was. When he moved to downtown, he changed the name to Wayne Ski and Cycle.
Okay.
Or Wayne Ski and Sports, sorry. There's a lot of confusion. People still call us Wayne Ski and Sports, but we're more just a ski and cycle at this point. So yeah, in 1983, they moved downtown on the plaza. So right next to where Tapas and the quarry are.
Right in there. Okay.
Yep. So we were on the plaza for quite a few years. That's when I came on the scene, was in 1992 when we were down on the plaza. Worked for him for a while. I was going to Nyack. I graduated from Nyack, went to Iowa State for a year, pretty much dropped out of from Iowa State. I dropped out, didn't do very well, wasn't very focused. Came back here and was managing a place in the mall called Hal's and going to night school, Buena Vista. And when I graduated from Buena Vista, I moved to Northwest Iowa for a while, about a year and a half, moved back to this area. And that's at the point where I had a job opportunity. Wayne asked me to sit down with him, and he had the idea of me eventually buying out his business and coming back to work for him full time. So that was my decision, is to make Wayne Ski and Cycle my career. So.
Did Wayne saw something in you right away? He was like, "Hey, I want you to work with me, and then eventually you can buy this." Oh,
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. So that was part of the agreement. I was working kind of part time for him at that time while I was looking for a full time job.
Yeah.
And that's when he approached me and said, "Hey, I think this could work for both of us." I would say that would have been probably 1996, I believe. Is when he would have approached me on that concept, maybe 97. And part of that agreement was that we were going to move down from the downtown out to the west location, and that's when he built the west location as part of our agreement. If I wanted to buy the business, I wanted something that was growing and expanding. And
Okay.
at that point, it was my belief and Wayne's that Mason City, Clear Lake would eventually grow together.
Grow.
You know, and so
we're still working on that.
yeah. You know, but what happened was, you know, the only thing that was out there at that time was North Iowa Golf. When Wayne built his store.
Okay.
And so it was this little store out in the middle of a cornfield, essentially, and then North Iowa Golf. Actually, interesting because it went to the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the original construction was voted on and only passed by one vote. In that same vote that night, the Cinema West was also in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and they lost. And the reason why was because Wayne Ski and Cycle was transportation based. And they said that was the reason why is because car dealerships were allowed to be out there. So therefore a bike shop, which is also transportation based, should also be allowed to be out there.
Oh, wow.
So Cinema West ended up taking that to court and they won. And then they set the precedent for the other businesses that are currently out there, like Decker Sports, to, you know, Tiger Fine Jewelry to go out there as well. So yeah, it was interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. When did you fall in love with the biking?
Young.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it was, you know, I can remember my first bikes. I can't think of the name of it. I was going to look that up, and it was a 20-inch bike, and it kind of looked like a motorcycle. It had like a motorcycle seat on it. And on the back, it had these like suspension springs underneath the seat, and it had like fenders on it. And I was so proud of that bike. It was such a cool bike.
Did you ever thought you would be here doing what you're doing with something that you love to do? Because you were just enjoying biking for fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, I went from, you know, riding bikes around the neighborhood and having fun. And, you know, as I got older, I got a Panasonic Mountain Cat 4500. It was a mountain bike. It was one of the first production mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And that would have been in probably 85, I think. And, you know, I would have been, you know, like 8th grade at that time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I started riding that bike out at Lime Creek. And back then it was deer trails. Like, you know, we didn't have mountain bike trails, you know, but, you know, that was just when mountain biking was getting started. So I was out riding this mountain bike on deer trails and, you know, finding my way through the woods. And, you know, it was definitely you know, how I got passionate about it was back in those days of, you know, exploring and the freedom of cycling that it provides.
Wow. Isn't that crazy? And here you are.
Yeah.
Man. Born and raised in Mason City. Any siblings?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 older brothers, one that lives out in Colorado and one that lives here in Mason City.
Anyone them into biking at all? Not really.
You know, the middle brother, Jeff, he and I used to ride mountain bikes a lot together. My oldest brother, he's done RAGBRAI several times, and yeah, he still rides and enjoys it.
Okay. So in 2004, you are buying a business. When are you moving to the new location, and why? Why moving?
So in 2004, I purchased the business. Didn't really have any thoughts of, you know, moving at that point. Part of the agreement was that I had a 15-year lease at that point to stay in that location as part of the purchase. Yeah. So I hadn't really thought about moving.
That's the one by the movie theater over
correct.
there. Yeah.
It's now the Chad Harrison accounting.
Yeah.
At that location. So, but what was interesting when we built that location is Walmart, Kohl's, all that stuff wasn't there yet. And we never foresaw that happening. And so we thought everything would keep expanding towards Clear Lake. Well, once Walmart built, then nothing was going to build west of Walmart. And everything became stagnant, and it had Square popped up. And so we were kind of still left on the outside, on the outer edge of Mason City. So, you know, it was just still a great location. You know, I think it's a great retail location. I tell you, moving my business downtown has been the perfect move for us.
Okay.
It's where we need to be for sure.
Okay. So you kind of want to move this side of the town because that side stopped growing.
Yeah. You know, I wanted to say it was because it stopped growing. It's just, you we're a destination shop, destination business where people are going to find us. But yet from the transportation side of the business, we need to be easily accessible.
Yes.
And that's the one thing we didn't have. We get lots of walk-in traffic every single day. Now we get walk-in traffic, people riding their bikes in, and that's the type of service, we thrive off of service. That's the mainstay of our business. And that's the people that need our service, as well as people that can drive. So yeah, it was a great location. Funny story is we were out, and I shouldn't say out, we were down in Arizona. No, we were down in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. Northwest Arkansas, a place we go mountain biking lot called Bentonville. But we were down there and we're sitting in this strip mall eating tacos at this place we love to. We could get to it off of one of the trails, but it was still on the outer edge of their town. And there's a bike shop there. And I remember sitting at the taco place. This would have been close, very shortly before we moved. And one of the buddies that I was sitting with, he says, "Man, that's a dumb place for a bike shop." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, it's out on the edge of town." It's like, that's where my bike shop is, right? He's like, "Oh yeah." But that kind of struck me. I'm just like, probably isn't the best location for a bike shop. So.
How much did that industry change since 1996? Do you see there's more? I almost see more people riding bikes. Maybe just my eyes. I almost see more people riding bikes now.
Yeah, that's a great question. The industry is always changing.
Yeah.
The technology is always changing, but it's, I say this all the time at work with the guys. It's like, it's just bikes.
Yeah.
And it is still just a bike. I mean, there's a lot of technology, but
bike bike changed a lot.
Yeah, but it's still the very simple, basic, 2 wheels, chains, pedals, handlebars. That concept hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Technology around it certainly has, but the joy that you get from cycling, I don't think has changed. The things we do with our bikes, using them for transportation and commuting and enjoyment, exercise, health, camaraderie. I'm a huge social cyclist. I very rarely will go for a bike ride by myself. I'm usually call somebody and go for a bike ride. For me, that is cycling. It gives me that connection with people.
Okay. It seems like that has grown in the Metro City too.
Yeah.
Because I seen a lot of people riding bikes as a group.
Yep. We have some great groups too that bring people in, and we have the mountain bike club that brings the school age kids in. We have North Iowa Touring Club, North Iowa Human Power Trails. There's the North Iowa Pedal Pushers. So there's all these different groups that kind of fit different segments of our population and speak to different people as far as what cycling is to them. And then there's a lot of people that, just have their small friend groups, or there's a lot of people that love to ride by themselves and, use technology to drive them. They're motivated by, speed and cadence and watts and, getting their Strava points. I don't know if you've heard of Strava. But Strava is an app that a lot of cyclists connect on. Also, it's a little bit of a social app, but it also allows you to compare yourself and see what other people are doing in our community, what their longest rides are, and those types of things. And it's really connected a lot of people in cycling.
In a community? If you have
community, and also throughout the world, like you can.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you have friends all over the place, like that'll, eventually find you and comment on your ride and say like, "Hey, nice ride. Good job." So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So that's kind of its own world.
Yep. And some people are very motivated by that specific app. So, they'll go out and try to get their what they're called Strava points or a Strava segment where, say, like, if you're riding to Clear Lake and there's 2 telephone poles, that might be a Strava segment that you can see on your computer, and it's going to be whoever can go from that telephone pole to the next telephone pole the fastest. And you want to try to get that Strava segment, and you're the top speed for that segment. So people compete on that side of it too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the longest distance have you rode bike?
That'd be 232 miles.
Jeez. That's like from here to Minneapolis.
Here to Madison, Wisconsin, actually.
Wow. How long did it take you to do that?
A day.
Just one day?
Yep. We did it twice.
Jeez.
Yeah, the first year we were cut short by daylight. We should have left a little bit earlier, and we weren't prepared for that. Navigating the backwoods of Wisconsin with just a headlight is not a good thing. They don't have the street signs like we do around in Iowa.
Wow. So when you do that type of long distance riding, I'm assuming you have some type of navigation system?
When we did that, I didn't. And that was before like smartphones and the computers, GPS computers and stuff like that. So we used cue sheets on our bikes.
How many of you guys?
The first year I did it, it was 2 of us. And the second year, there was 3 of us.
Whoa.
So
I thought you were going to say 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the 2 guys I did it with were very good friends, and we rode together a lot. So there was a lot of trust in that. And,
wow. Have you ever compete in any type of cycling?
Yeah, I have. I've done a lot of different areas. I've done road racing. I've raced mountain bikes. Yeah, I've raced cyclocross, was the one I was probably the most passionate about. So yeah, I got very involved in racing for several different years, but I got the most involved with what was called an Omnium. It was Bicycle Blues and Barbecue in Clear Lake. So it was a criterium, a road race, and a triathlon all wrapped up into one. And a good friend of mine, Tim Putnam, it was something that he was super passionate about. And that event grew to be, I think it was in the top 10. I think it might have been like top 3 tourist attractions in Iowa. It brought thousands and thousands of people, hundreds of racers, top name racers. We had a $60,000 prize one year for it. So it was huge. I mean, we brought in blues bands from all over the place and barbecue. It was just a festival the weekend after the 4th of July every year. And I was very involved with running and operating that year after year. I raced it in a couple of years, but after that, pretty much just helped run the races.
Mason City got the new rock trail.
Yeah, Prairie Rock Trails.
Prairie Rock Trail. What are you thinking?
Oh, man, gives me goosebumps. I tell you.
How many of those do we have in the state? Before I say,
in the state,
yeah,
none to the level of what
we have.
City has.
Okay, that's what I heard about. I did not want to. I did not want to say anything.
Sioux City has a bike park, but it only has, I think, 1 or 2 lines. We have 9 lines on that one.
Yeah,
and then another 7 lines over on Evans Preserve. It's a lot.
I'm assuming this will probably bring some bikers, cycling people in town.
Oh, it already has. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've seen it. Just for our soft opening, I believe somebody told me we had 6 states, license plates. We had 6 states represented and 9 counties.
Okay.
In Iowa. So yeah, I mean, just for our soft opening. But I know we've had, people from, all over Iowa.
Yeah.
If I drive through there pretty much any weekend, I see Minnesota plates.
Okay.
So it's drawing people for sure.
Which I hope in return, also those people will be introduced to Wayne's.
Yeah, I hope so.
Store kind of thing. Because
typically anybody that's a cyclist, that are going to drive to a destination, that's just one of the things you do is just stop in the store, the local bike shops, and check things out because you're not going to be riding all day. You know? And I still do that. Like, every town I go to, I'm a bike shop owner. I'm not necessarily shopping, but bikes are cool.
Yep,
so I just want to go check out the bikes.
Yeah.
But people also spend a lot of time in the restaurants, the breweries, the bars, the shopping malls. And, it's because like I said, we don't typically ride all day.
Yeah.
When we go to a destination like that, you get too tired.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I'm glad Mason City did that, especially if it's one of the best one in the state.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones. It's one of the best ones in the nation. Like,
wow.
I can honestly say that.
That's a powerful statement.
Yeah. Probably the best known one in the United States is called the Rail Yard in Rogers, Arkansas. And that's down in the Bentonville area. Most people know Bentonville as the capital of mountain biking. But the Rail Yard is really what we modeled this one off of. The builders that we hired to build this one had a lot of the construction, a lot of the initial phases of the rail yard that they did. And so they basically told us that they knew what they had done right there. They also knew what they did wrong.
Oh,
so
perfect.
They had some great ideas of how to make ours better than the rail yard.
Nice.
And so from everybody I've talked to, they say, yep, they nailed it.
Nice. Were you involved from the beginning?
I was.
Good. Because that's the key thing too. It's like when you're doing something that you have no idea about what you're doing, you need to have people who knows what's going on to be involved from the beginning, because you can easily make mistakes that you shouldn't be making. Yeah. So I'm glad you were involved. Now, when I was thinking about Wayne's and skiing, I thought you were just going in there just buying a bike and leave. But your store is full service, basically. You can buy, you can fix, and I was talking to you today at the store. You don't have to be Wayne's customers to get your bike fixed.
Absolutely not. Yeah. We'll work on anybody's bikes.
Yeah. Yep. So what some other service other than fixing do you offer at Wayne's?
Well, if we stay on the cycling side first, bike fitting is one of the things that we do, and I feel we do very well. We have a good following for doing bike fitting. And
what is bike fitting? I'm not cycling, so
yeah. So typically, bike fitting is thought of more for enthusiasts on the road. So road cyclists, triathletes. And so people are going to be spending a lot of hours on their bikes, and that typically they're kind of in one position.
Okay.
And so, you're out there for hours on end doing thousands of repetitions, the same repetition with your legs, pedaling, and you can start getting some, nuisance pains or nerve issues. There's just a lot of things that comes from being in that static position and doing that same movement over and over and over that can, inflame tendons. And so there's a lot of very small adjustments that we do as a bike fitter to make those pains go away.
Okay.
And, also make you more efficient.
Yeah.
So, from aerodynamics to power output, those are all things that we take a look at when we're doing a bike fit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's something I really enjoy doing. I enjoy the troubleshooting process. Typically, when somebody comes to us with a bike fit, because they're having a pain or something's not going right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, I look at them and be like, okay, we're going to fix this.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of an art to it. There's a little bit of a science to it. So I think that's probably the part that I enjoy the most is being able to look at it from, the physiological side. And, I'm not a doctor by any means, but I've been, fitting people on bikes for 30 plus years. So I've figured out a lot of things somebody, typically a cyclist, if you're listening to this and you're like, I get a lot of knee pain when I'm riding, come see me. A lot of people think it's I've got bad knees or whatever, and I just got to ride through that pain. But I tell you, I 90% of the time I can usually fix that. Sometimes it's physiological and there's, they might need surgery or they need something else, but knee pain and cycling, they go hand in hand. A lot of times it's something I can fix.
Yeah. And it will suck if cycling is something you enjoy to do and you did not get the fitting right.
Yep.
And then now you're in pain, you cannot ride your bike anymore. But actually it's something you can fix and you can jump right back on it. Yeah. Man, Matt, you make me think about getting a bike next year. Jeez.
Well, I'm taking you for a ride. We got lots of bikes. We're gonna go hit those jumps out at the bike park.
Man, I might get one for just fun. I can ride during the summertime. On the wintertime, what do you guys do then?
So there's still fat bikes, snow bikes.
Okay.
So if and when we get snow, we haven't got snow the last couple of years, so we really haven't snow biked.
Yeah.
But we have a pretty good group of guys that are pretty committed to riding, year round and riding.
Wow.
The trails out at like Lime Creek and Evans Preserve. We have actual machines that kind of look like a miniature snowmobile, and we go and we pack the trails and make them firm, and then we can ride our fat tire bikes on them.
Okay. That's now I'm thinking about, because I'm not big on going to the gym, and I think if I can enjoy riding a bike, I'll be killing two birds with one stone. So I don't know. I'm gonna think about that.
I'll put you on the list in the spring. I'm gonna put it in my calendar to give you a call. Say, hey, today's the day, Eric. Let's go.
Yeah, I might get one, man. So that's on the cycling part. That's one of the services you offer. And please, if you're cycling out there, you're a bike lover, go see Matt. Get your stuff fitting before you mess up all your knees, and then you can't ride a bike anymore.
Yeah. So
that's one part on cycling. What are the services in there? People can come in and see you.
Yep. So you mentioned the actual repair service of our shop. And that's the main service that most people need. And I tell you, we stay busy year round. Like every single day, we get people bringing their bikes in, even when it's snowing or blizzards. And we'll have somebody come in pretty much every single day with a bike to get fixed. It's crazy. It blows my mind still. That it's like I don't think about it. But. It's people use them and they're always thinking about them. So so that's the main part of the business. We do the ski side of the business. So we wax skis, we sharpen, we stone grind, we repair bases. We have, I don't want to call it state of the art equipment, but we have we can produce the absolute best quality ski tune with on par with anybody in Colorado. We have really, really good equipment, and base repairs. I'm very confident in you can trash your skis and bring them in. I can make them look like brand new again.
Oh,
it's a pretty cool process that we're able to do.
Nice.
Boot fitting kind of goes along with bike fitting.
Okay.
But not just like, hey, here's your boots. 9.5, try them on. That's how most people get fitted from the first time, but kind of like cycling. A lot of times people think,
are these boot for skiing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Skiing. So, very, they're very firm. There's not a lot of movement in them. They're hard plastics. And so people can experience a lot of pain while skiing. And similar to, on the bike side, you don't have to. Like people assume like, oh, that's just part of it. No, it's just, cycling hurts sometimes or skiing hurts sometimes. But it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that I can do as a boot fitter to relieve the pressure on your foot, or give you better balance on your skis, make you a better skier.
Yeah.
And it's again, it's one of those, when somebody comes to me, it's a little bit of an art, but it's a little bit of science, and I love having those challenges of having somebody that has a bad experience and I can make it better for them. And I'm confident, like as soon as they walk in, I'm like, yeah, I can make your day.
Yeah. Do you ski also?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Love it. Absolutely love it.
And then you have, it's another thing I did not think I was seeing there. Fitness equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think when you think about it, it's just kind of go hand in hand. Everything in there basically is fitness, biking, skiing, all that. Is that always has been part of your business, or you kind of added on?
Yeah, we started carrying treadmills, I know, pretty close to when I started working there, a little bit before. When I started working there, we started doing a little bit more with the fitness side of the business, and that kind of expanded. In the last probably 4 years, I've really started pushing the commercial side of our fitness business. And so, places like YMCA's, Nyack, fitness centers, hotels, apartment complexes,
Okay.
Police departments, fire departments, that type of stuff. That's something that we've really expanded into that area of fitness. And it's been great. It's been really good for us.
Oh, good. And I was thinking about this too. Do you need a specific shoes for biking?
You don't need specific shoes.
Yeah.
They certainly make specific shoes.
Okay.
Depending on, if you're mountain biking or if you're, road biking, and there's all kinds of different accessories that we can get you hooked up with and make it a better experience for you. But no,
Okay.
You can hop on and, you don't need biking shorts, but they make it better.
Okay.
You don't need cycling shoes, but they make the experience better.
What's the most expensive bike do you have? Like in there? Is it any bike for 10,000 or not?
Yeah, I just sold one on Friday for $9,400.
Okay.
So most expensive bike.
What the
boy?
9,400? What's the bike comes with the TV?
Yeah, it's just, again, it's
I would like to see that bike. I like to see the bells and whistles on that one.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a bike. It's wheels and chain, pedals and handlebars.
Yeah.
But it comes with the technology side of it.
Okay.
It's got electronic shifting, extremely lightweit frame and wheels.
Oh, so it's easy to carry.
Yeah, well, hopefully they don't carry it. Hope we're riding it. But yeah, it's super lightweight, so it would be super easy to carry. It's the quality of the ride. It's quality of the experience.
Yeah.
When you're, again, like I talked about, when you're, riding for fitness or, for
Fun.
Yeah. You're doing it hours and hours at a time. That experience from having a lightweight frame and lightweight wheels, it really enhances that experience. When you go to climb up a hill, it's night and day difference between, a $500 bike and a $10,000 bike. It's just, it's a feel, it's an enjoyment. It's it's that experience that you get from that bike.
Kind of like cars too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming in 96, selling these bikes in 96, and you're looking at bikes you're selling in 2025. What's some of the things that you're seeing that being made with the bikes now in 96 you never dreamed it would happen?
Electronic shifting.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that, because there was a company called Mavic that experimented with electronic shifting. They failed miserably, but they did try it. It took a long time for somebody to try it again. I mean, it took probably another 15 years before somebody even tried that. But yeah, I think the suspension technology, back then we had suspension bikes, but they were basically springs and they did not enhance the ride. As cool as, because it was had suspension, but it'd be arguable that they actually made the ride better back then compared to what they do now. I mean, I tell you, it's the mountain bike technology, the way that those ride, it is night and day different between 1996 and what it is now. A road bike, not as much night and day difference, but I tell you, mountain bikes, they truly give you way more confidence when you have that technology that we have today with suspension and geometries. And, a lot of times people look at a mountain bike trail and go, man, I want to walk down that. I'm like, neither would I. But I'll ride my bike down it, because it gives me a lot more confidence being on that bike with suspension and nice tires, wide tires and traction. And, I can ride my bike down a lot of crazy stuff, but that I won't walk down. But that's all the technology. I can't do that on a bike from 1996 necessarily. I'd look at that and be like, I don't know.
Maybe not. How much do you think AI would impact the biking world? I'm sure you've been thinking about it.
Yeah, not that much.
Yeah.
I haven't given it that much thought, I guess. Because bikes are still bikes.
Yeah.
Like I said, there are wheels and chains and pedals and handlebars and seats.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much with AI that I still can't even begin to wrap my mind around, that I don't know if I could really comprehend how it could change that. If something changes with cycling that it's still that freedom. It's still that experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's ever going to change the core of what cycling is.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
know, the technology changes, but still, like, I wouldn't say that I get more enjoyment now with all the technology changes that I did when I was a kid. You know, it's still riding a bike.
Still,
It's,
yeah. The experience is still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the e-bike? I was confused about that when I saw e-bike. I'm like, I want a cycle. Why do I need an electronic one?
Yeah. Yeah. So e-bikes, they've really, really exploded in popularity the last several years. There's a lot of question as to why do we need them, or is it cheating, or,
That's what I was thinking.
oh, everybody does. That's always, I mean, I think that's everybody's first reaction.
Yeah, because I was like, does this defeat the whole idea of cycling?
Yeah. But that's, anytime something new comes on, a lot of times, I mean, that's usually our first reaction, right? Until we experience it, until we understand it.
Yeah.
And that's by far, like, when I get a customer that comes in and says, "Oh, that's cheating." It's like, yeah, it is. Let's go for a ride.
Yeah.
Let's try it. I've never had a customer come back that didn't have a smile on their face. They might come back and be like, "Yeah, I get it now, but it's not for me right now." And it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's definitely not. I mean, I have e-bikes and I use them, but my primary bikes that I ride are not e-bikes.
Yeah.
I spend by far the most of my time on a traditional bike. But I tell you, the areas that they are and where they excel is people that are non-traditional cyclists. It eliminates a lot of the reasons people don't like to ride.
Yeah.
It's the headwinds, it's the hills, it's starting and stopping from stop signs. It gives you, if you think about it, if you ride a bike and I say, okay, you want to go ride into the wind and you got a 30 mile an hour headwind, or you want to ride with that 30 mile an hour wind. And like, well, I'm not going to ride into a 30 mile an hour wind. Well, that e-bike is like always having a tailwind. You just bump that little button and you're still pedaling. Everything that we sell is a pedal assist. So you have to be pedaling. There are throttles on the market now, but by far the majority of what we sell is what's called a pedal assist. So you have to be pedaling. You have to be putting in an input, and it's going to give you a percentage back. So it's not, the harder you work, the faster you go. So there's still that reward that you get from cycling.
You still get your exercise in.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody new listening to this and they go like, oh man, that's kind of interesting, but I don't know anything about bikes. Last time I did that, I was 8. I want to learn more about, maybe I need to get back out there biking like I'm thinking about right now. Where do they start?
Yeah, I tell you, I mean, our bike shop, I'm a little biased, but I tell you, it'd be the perfect place to start, because if you come in and you literally tell us that exact thing, like, hey, like, I haven't ridden my bike in a long time. I'm really not sure, if I really even want to do this, like, what do I do? I mean, we're going to do everything we can to try to, make you have a good experience.
Yeah.
We want more people on bikes, whether that means helping you find your first used bike and we can't sell you that bike.
Yeah.
My sales guys will do that. Like, it's not something they're going to come to me. Like, they know that is our goal, is to get people on bikes. I mean, we'd love to sell you a new bike, but if you're new, then we're going to be like, okay, well, maybe if we have a used one, we'll let you borrow it for a couple of days, and just see if you have that experience, or we'll take you on a short ride around the neighborhood, on one of our bikes, and, give you that experience, or try to connect you with a group that maybe is more like-minded, somebody that they can kind of connect with.
Oh, okay. So you do that too?
Yeah.
You can connect. Oh, nice. Nice. So you sell used bikes too?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's where I will start.
Yeah. And we have bikes that we rent, all kinds of different. We have e-bikes and we have mountain bikes to rent. So yeah, all kinds of different stuff.
Oh, there's more option than I thought.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, maybe renting one next summer.
We'll get you on a bike. I got bikes. I got lots of bikes.
Yeah, because I think I might need to slowly get on it. I think that would be good exercise for me. And also just, I'm probably thinking about biking, probably maybe almost like golfing. You're just out there in your own world.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
It's funny.
therapeutic.
Yeah, it's funny because I say that, people don't have the time or the money to be a cyclist and a golfer.
That's true.
Like, there's nobody that has that kind of time.
You mentioned something that what you're selling in there in your store is kind of unique. I thought there was another store around like North Iowa, but you say no.
No, there's a bike shop over in Clear Lake called Lakeside Cycleries.
Yeah.
They're mostly a service shop now. They've been around a really, really long time. But other than that, no, there's Waterloo, Austin.
Yeah.
There's not really any other bike shops locally.
Okay. And did you say Colorado is kind of the big hub of cycling?
For skiing more.
For skiing more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's when most people around here are like, oh, I'm going to go to Colorado skiing. That's the majority. If somebody's going to go take a trip, that's where they're going to go. Locally, we ski Minnesota, southern Minnesota. But
okay. We talk about community involvement in the biking. What do you see? Do you see more young people get excited about this? So you see older people? Is the mix of both men, women? What do you see the majority of the people that are kind of excited in that world?
it literally is all types of people. With the e-bikes coming on the scene, it's an older population that's getting back into cycling.
Yeah.
Giving them an activity that they can be passionate about and continue to do for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those people that are buying e-bikes, they haven't touched a bicycle for 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I can do this. That this allows me to get back into cycling and, allows me to have that freedom and enjoyment again. But yeah, so I mean, that's probably the fastest growing segment, I would guess, is that older population getting back into it. I'm the most passionate about junior cycling and getting kids on bikes. I tell you, it's something I fear with technology and how that is going to affect our society.
Oh yeah.
And the amount of the time that kids spend on computer, PlayStations, and just sitting on their phone. And I think that there's so many kids that they never even learn how to ride a bike.
You said that's your passion. What is your goal? What do you want to do with get them outside the house?
I wouldn't say. I would say if I had a goal originally, I've more than met that. I probably need to reimagine at this point because really, what's happened in our community in the last 3 years, it blows me away. To give you an idea, so I started with junior cycling. I was a couple friends. Our kids were riding for a couple different teams in different states. They were into road racing.
Yeah.
And so my son was racing for a team out of Minnesota, and he said, like, this is kind of crazy. Like, why don't our kids ride for the same team? Why don't we have our own team? And so we started it.
Yeah.
And it's called Spin Devo. It's Steve Bailey and Brooke Bailey. We started building this team, and it grew super fast. It became one of the largest junior cycling programs in the Midwest.
Wow.
We had 43 active racers in Mason City, Iowa.
Oh, wow.
Most teams back then had, maybe 10, 15 kids. So it got big. It got bigger than we could have thought at that time. And
I did not even hear this.
Yeah, this was quite a while ago. So this I'm so bad with dates and times and all that stuff. But so this probably would have been 12 years ago, I'm going to guess.
Okay.
13 years, 14, I don't know, something
Yeah.
like that, 15 maybe. And that was back when Bicycle Blues and Barbecue in Clear Lake was going on. I was heavily invested into that time-wise and, really spending a lot of time on the race scene. And my son was racing. And so we spent a lot of time with that junior program and growing that program. And it did really well until COVID.
Oh.
And
Oh, boy.
our team just kind of started falling apart a little bit.
Yeah.
it was good. I mean, things change.
Yeah.
We ebb, we flow. But with that, we started focusing on trails during COVID.
Yeah.
And so that's when we started building North Iowa Human Power Trails. And I can't remember all the people that were involved originally, but Mick Myers was our president, still is our president. I believe Dr. Matt Fabian was involved back then. He had just moved to town, and Stephen Brooke Bailey, myself, we started North Iowa Human Power Trails, and we started building trails. We hired a company called Backyard Trails. Ken Barker came and taught us how to build trails. We did like a seminar and taught us how to build trails. And with that, it was during COVID. So we started building these trails, and all the kids that were involved in our program from junior cycling, we reached out to them, and they came. Nobody could do anything else. So we'd have like 40 people doing these trail build days, and half of them were kids. And so these kids started helping us build these mountain bike trails. And so then from that grew our current mountain bike club. So it was kind of went from Spendevo, that kind of fell apart. And then we grew this other team. And, that was those kids. It was North Iowa Human Power Trails from, back during COVID that really launched us into where we're at today with Prairie Rock Trails, and really gave us that opportunity to present the city what trails can mean to our community.
Yeah.
And what it can mean for our kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know if you know, like we have over 100 quality trek mountain bikes in our schools in Mason City, Iowa.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So the school came to us with an idea of this outdoor pursuits program that they wanted to build. And so I worked with them to get them product, really good quality bikes, cross-country skis, snowshoes, and they started this outdoor pursuits class in the high school. And I'm like, absolutely, anything I can do to get more kids out, get them the experience of riding or being outdoors. And our assistant superintendent, Bridget, she was the one that really came up with this idea. And so I just said, yep, anything I can do. I don't need to profit on this. I, sell everything at my cost. Let's just get kids out there. And
That's
first
great.
that went really, really well. So then she came to me the next year and said, hey, I want to do this again. I want to get kids, in our intermediate school. And then it was, 5th and 6th grade. So now we have 5th, 6th, 7th, all the way through high school to have access to quality trek bikes. And on top of that, as part of our trail system, we had Rock Solid, who's the company we hired to build these trails, build trails on our high school, John Adams Middle School property, and then also put a track on the Lincoln track property. So they don't have just mountain bikes, but they actually have quality mountain bike trails that they can ride.
Nice.
So it's getting those kids that experience, allowing them to, there's so many people. I mean, I go and talk to these kids and like, I don't have a bike,
Yeah. Because if we don't give them something to do, we cannot blame them for being on their phone all day.
Yeah.
Huge part of that is our responsibility to make sure our kids have something to do other than sitting around watching TV or play on their phones. I'm concerned about that as anybody else, but I think 90% of that is our fault.
Yeah.
We buy them the gadgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think maybe we, as grown up, we need to get together and say, hey, we take phones away from our kids from now on. We'll give them the flip phone with no internet. They can call and text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember they used to have those, what were they, like bees or something like that? There's like a little phone that's all they could do with.
Yep. That's not a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Go back to that. But good luck to find a company that makes those. You did not want to change the name?
Initially, yes.
Yeah.
Initially, I was going to. There wasn't any ifs, ands, or buts. I was going to change the name and couldn't come up with a good name, and then started dragging my feet. I think with most ideas, if you don't act upon them right away, then you're a lot less likely to do it, and that's pretty much what happened. I think I wanted a new identity. And man, I tell you, when I first bought that business and I took it over, I tried really hard to screw it up. I thought, boy, if I could go back 24 years and say, hey, this is what you need to know. I can't imagine where I'd be right now. Maybe same spot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just your destiny. But I tell you, it's the customer service side, I think, is something that I try to appreciate more and more every day. When I have bad experiences or good experiences, I really try to reflect that on my own business and think, people are coming to us for that experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And back then when I took that over, that
customer service was now on the top of the list.
No, I mean, the bike industry is unfortunately known for kind of having that attitude.
Roughness.
Yeah, of just like, what do you mean you can't figure it out?
Yeah.
What'd you do now? It's just that. And unfortunately, there's still a lot of bike shops, a lot of businesses that are still run that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever have that kind of experience in my shop, please email me, call me.
Yeah.
I will make it right, because we try very, very hard to make sure that, it's that experience that you have when you come in our store. It's, that connection you have with not just the employee, but hopefully they become your friend very quickly and become, like I said, we're part of the community. All my employees are, and you'll see us out.
Yeah. Hey, Chad, you heard that?
Yeah.
Don't you ever mistreat me when I walk in there, because I'll call Matt.
Don't ever mistreat him when you walk into Jetters either.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, Chad is a great guy.
Yeah.
Well, this maybe will be a more philosophical question. You think you found your purpose in life?
Maybe I'm getting closer.
Okay.
Speaking of Chad, I hired him as my general manager a couple of years ago. With that position, it was to allow me to focus more on our community and be more involved in our community. Those are the things I think back about, the things that I've done that really bring me joy. It's, my kids were both very involved in hockey, and when they were, I was extremely passionate about hockey. I coached both of them all the way through. I coached other levels. Of one year, I was coaching 3 different levels of hockey. I had 2 kids, but I was coaching at 3 different levels.
Oh.
I was running a night league, men's adult league. So, I was spending like 17 hours a week.
Oh, wow.
On the ice, between coaching and playing, and so it's like this passion. But, that was just, I think back about like how involved I was. I was on the board, and it's just like that was something I was very passionate about. And, as I moved forward, I became very involved with the Bicycle Blues and Barbecue and running that race. We did another race called Cannonball, which was a cyclocross race, and just I've always enjoyed being that committed to racing or, sport, and now it's our community. I'm the president of Visit Mason City. I'm vice president of business affairs for the chamber.
Okay.
On that board, and, I'm on the North Idaho Power Trail board. I tell you, it's just very involved with our high school program, or not our high school, I guess we call it our scholastic program.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to make sure that goes forward. We lost all of our coaches, but I'm going to make sure that continues forward. And, that's just, I just want to be more involved. Like, what can we do as a community? And not just around cycling, but those are the things that I get attached to very easily. But now I'm trying to get more involved with our community, like I said, with Visit Mason City and the chamber, and trying to grow into those different areas and try to help outside my 4 walls.
Yeah. And I think we all need to. We all need to get involved in our community. And I think most people actually do want to, but I think in most cases, people are just like, what can I do? There's a lot you can do out there. There's a lot you can do. You just need to get out.
Yeah. I think what I've learned mostly from personal experiences, you need to be asked. I mean, that's why I'm on Visit Mason City. It's why I'm on the chamber board. Somebody asked me. Somebody asked me to run for park board, and I was very close. I actually had the application filled out. I had all the signatures I needed. And I sat back, and one night I'm just like, it was one of those 14-hour days, and I'm just like, I don't have the time that I can truly commit to this. And I know it's not a huge time investment, but I really need to see everything through that I'm doing right now, before I could do that. And I still have a little regret for not doing that. And I think I probably will run at some point, but it's just, but somebody asked me to do that. And it wasn't something I thought about, but somebody's like, hey, you should do this. I'm like, yep, sure.
Yeah. So you think your purpose, your calling to kind of like improve your community living in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I foresee that, being something that I'm going to be very passionate about going forward. And, I think there's just so many good things going on right now, and I'd love to do everything I can to make sure it keeps doing that.
Mm-hmm. And it's critical for all of us. It's like, what else other than making the community you're living in better? It doesn't get that better than that.
Right.
Man, anything else I forgot? You want to tell people in North Iowa about Wayne's?
I tell you, it's the people there, our community. Yeah. That I'm just so happy to be part of this community with my business. Like, I've had a lot of sales reps that have approached me and said, hey, why don't you open up in this location? There's a great opportunity for you to build something like this in that community. And it's like, I can't wrap my mind around trying to do what I do here somewhere else at the same time. Yeah. I'm very passionate about our business, and, my employees are my friends. My customers are my friends. It's more than just a bike shop. Mm-hmm. It's something that I feel connected to everything around me because of it. I love to be in our community. I love to be out, going to restaurants. I see you here at Jitters all the time. Yep. It doesn't matter where I go. Like, I just want to be part of our community. Yeah. And I love it. I love Mason City. I couldn't be more excited about where we're at in this community right now.
And where we're going.
Yeah. I've lived here all my life, moving my store downtown. Yeah. Everything just has felt so right the last several years. And, I still don't think I can fully appreciate what we have here with everything that's happened in the last several years. And I'm so excited about what's going to happen here in the future. Yeah.
And I think most of us really, I love this community, and with everything that's been going on, and I can only imagine what is going to keep happening. I'm excited about the movie theater coming back at the mall. I remember those days when there was movie theater there. So, it seems like everything is moving to the right direction. Yeah. And I think we just need all hands on deck to make sure everything work the way it's supposed to work. The future look real, real bright. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited next 10, 15 years how it's going to look like. Well, Matt, thank you very much, man.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate your time. That was Matt Curtis, the owner of Wayne Ski Cycling and Fitness. I always forget the fitness piece of it.
Most people just call it Wayne Ski and Cycle.
Yeah, I always forget the
if
fitness.
You call our phone, it's just, I answer, Wayne's, this is Matt.
Okay. Well, thanks, Matt.
Yeah. Thank you.